Hello everyone, let's have a look at Bitcoin. We're going to think about what things might look like this week and into next week. We've obviously got the trend signal still in play. There's your Cloud conversion baseline and cheeky span still trending basically. The way to think about this cancelling out is obviously if the cheeky span closes in the price action, which means that we can pull back and close this week as low as 88,000 really. We don't want to see that. Next week will be a little higher. Next week a little higher than that, and so on and so on. And as the months continue, you could even see a point where you wouldn't really, because the conversion baseline would have crossed at this point. But you can sustain a fair bit lower over the next, in a couple of months. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if we do come down to those lower levels again, it would be the bear market, really. I think that's what we'd be looking at. But, it could be wrong, but, we're looking for quite far out. If we were to consider what this cheeky span looks like when we get down to this level, it's another 2 months away, to be honest with you. And as far as I'm concerned, trying to measure out where we're going from here, September, to me, seems like the most obvious place. And, it's 2 months away. So, yeah. And so, but we don't really care about what's going on in 2 months as much as we care about what's going on immediately right this very second in time. So we'll move it down. We'll start looking at the daily and then end up at the 1 hourly. That's right. And if you want to join my Patreon, there's a link in the description below. And if you want to set up exchanges on on BYDFi, I got some bonus things I can give you, some bonus trading funds I can give you, but you've got to set up using my link and then contact me on Telegram. Or you can just go for the new one that I've got, which is BloFin, which is 10% off all your trading fees for life, plus some kind of bonus referral as well. Right, that's enough of the shilling. Let's get into the killing. So we're bouncing on the daily above all the moving averages here. So that was a nice pullback yesterday. 10 exponential, relatively good, and a reasonable bounce so far from the wick to where we are right now, back up to 108. The previous high being close to 110. Obviously the wick saw 110,600, but the candle did not. So there's a few things you could think about. You've got this descending trend line, which has been broken and now has been retested, which means that we're likely to start moving out from it. So technically a breakout, technically. If you were to extend this over here, and I know we've just got lines all over the place, this is a descending triangle which broke out what looks like 50%, less than 50% on the way through, which normally gives continuation on that. So I'm fine with this. And if you think about what that would be, and again, this is always crude, but it's exciting for those who want to know. You have a measured move from the mouth to the breakout. We're talking about $118,000 for a single Bitcoin. That's right. That's right. So that pretty nice. Pretty nice. That's what the daily looks like right now. Doesn't mean that the daily will look like that tomorrow or even Monday or who knows, but that's what it looks like right now, and it's based on what we see and the reasons behind that breakout. With the trend signal and everything like that, you merge that all together, and what you do is you have a setup that you either decide to go on or not go on. That's all it is. It's not a 100% guarantee. Nothing ever is. Just remember that. Always remember that. You said that a breakout has taken place and it's $118,000 by tea time. Well, I didn't really say that, did I? I said a breakout has happened and a retest of that has happened. And if you do a measured move, it takes you up to 118. Well, I didn't say that it's going to do it absolutely, nor did I say it would do it by tea time. Right, the 4 hourly, fresh golden cross, retest, bounce, V-shaped recovery, and now we're looking for continuation. So even the 4 hourly has some nice evidence for continuous moves now. Trend, basically. Now you had some bearish divergence, which led to this peak. The pullback, I think, is probably an acceptable place to have come down to, the 50 exponential. So you had your first pullback, 200, second, higher low, 50 exponential. So even the 4 hourly is giving a decent setup here. I've still got my long from 79,000 on Bitcoin, a 10x long. I'm absolutely loving my life, and I don't see any reason to get out of that one at the moment. I'm more than happy to remain in that long position until September if needs be, because I'm over 200% up on that one. and it's a perpetual coin futures as well. So I've basically, tripled the Bitcoin that I put into it. So, you don't get these very often. But I've got one now, and I've had one for a few months. So this, that is my favourite long of for a long time now, and it's still going. And back down to the 1 hourly. What do you see? I see it too. The Golden Cross retest on a 1 hourly. So we're looking for a V-shaped recovery and then continuation. Based on the fact that it is a 1 hourly, it could even make its way up there today. The thing is, it's a weekend, so it doesn't often. We don't normally see big moves on a weekend. You have to be very bullish to see big moves on a weekend. But when you see all four of these time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hourly, 1 hourly, all saying the same kind of thing, it kind of makes you think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. So if I had to call it, and I'm going to try to call it, because obviously I want to make money from it. I've got a busy day today, so I've got to sit around monitoring all my trades. But if I had to call it, I would say that I think we're on our way back up to 110, and probably even further than that. Not all in one day, but we're going to start trending back up in that direction. Now, there is obviously criteria for the move down. If we get lost back below the 10 exponential and then obviously 106, then at that point, you probably are looking to revisit 100 or just above. Remember, even if we did that, the trend signal on the weekly would still be fine to say, all right, that's fine, let's try again. Which is why you should always have some nice risk management in place so you can try again yourself. But to be fair, as of this very moment, as we speak, immediately, it does look like it's going to start going back up and probably make its way to a new all-time high. That's what it looks like. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Nothing much more to say. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you on the Patreon live stream tomorrow night. And make the most of those referral links while you've got them, because it's in these periods of the markets where these exchanges start to give off these special offers. If you get 10% off your trading fee for the rest of your entire life on BloFin, you might as well. Do you know what I mean? You don't normally get those sort of things, and that would be an indefinite feature on your account. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.